Well, the two sides have swapped ends here, and it will be Bristol City to get the match underway, playing away to our right in the first half. Leicester playing towards their supporters in the Atio stand to our left. It is the start of a huge Easter programme, and the only place to follow it is on the home of the EFL, Talk Sport 2, and we are underway with the first of our 4 commentaries across 10 hours of coverage today. Bristol City looking to mount the first attack, but Wout Faes is there to head the ball away, and Cameron Pring will regather for Bristol City. Big crowd inside Ashton Gate here today in the south of Bristol, watching in the sunshine at the start of this game as Mehmeti brings it forward now for Bristol City, wide to this near side, and Tanner, he's got support, but the ball back towards Knight is just about kept in play, and Viner does well to recycle possession and play it wide towards the far side. Roberts looking for support from Pring, but in the end Pring is forced back by Fatawu, and Bristol City will try and start again. But Leicester have barely had a kick in the opening minutes.
Very, very confident start from the home side, keeping the ball very, very nicely.
Tanner now looking to fasten onto a floated ball forward down the right, delivers a high cross into the penalty area. There was a real moment of indecision there, and the shot is fired in at the far post, but in the end it was blocked, and it was a real opportunity for Bristol City in the end, but they're still coming forward now. Conway square towards Knight, low shot from him is deflected, and it will squirt behind for a corner, but really, had Conway and Twine not collided there, one of them would have scored at the far post.
It's an amazing mistake, really. They tackle one another. What's the goalkeeper doing? Mads Hermansson there, the ball's floated in, he just leaves it. It's a really, really poor piece of goalkeeping, and it's a nervy start from Leicester City.
Scott Twine, on loan from Burnley, promoted from this level last season, will take the corner kick, and it will be an outswinger for Bristol City in towards the near post. Rising was Dickey, but it's glided away by Ndidi towards the far side. Pring with a high diagonal ball back towards the edge of the penalty area. Seems to catch in the wind. Taken down though by Twine at the far post. Laid back, fired in by James. Pinball inside the penalty area until Chowdhury has support from Justin. The two fullbacks there on the far side. And Leicester will try and build here, but at the moment they have barely left the dressing room.
No, well, they just need to keep hold of the ball, and they are very good at that, Nigel. We know that. Leicester City very comfortable in possession. They just need to calm themselves down a bit. It's been a good start from Bristol City, really, really confident and aggressive, but Leicester are at the most at home when they have the ball, aren't they? And they have it now.
1 point separating the top 3 heading into the Easter weekend. Leicester has spent 181 days at the top of the table, 216 days in the top 2, but that could all change over the day here live on Talk Sport 2. They had been top since December the 13th until Leeds beat Millwall just before the international break. They were 12 points clear of Leeds and 14 points clear of third place before this run of 5 games in which they've picked up 4 points.
Yeah, it's been a catastrophic run, really, hasn't it? And the teams around them have cranked up the pressure by being brilliant themselves. They've kept on winning matches, Leeds, Ipswich, Southampton, and yeah, Leicester should never be in this position. You know, the gap that they had, the cushion was incredible. So they have to reverse that trend quickly, and they have to do it today.
3 minutes played, Bristol City 0, Leicester 0 on the home of the EFL Talk Sport 2 as Mehmeti will chase a ball forward on this near side, but it's overhit and it will be shepherded behind by Vestergaard for a goal kick to Leicester City. Bristol City 5 losses in 6 games. That victory against Swansea here, the only relief in that run, and they have lost 8 of their 10 games against teams in the top 6 so far this season.
But they did beat Southampton here, didn't they? Yeah. So, you know, that will give them confidence and optimism ahead of today's game. I think Coventry lost here, Hull as well, Sunderland, Borough, so, you know, taken some scalps as well.
Leicester looking to build on this near side. Mavididi will pick up a loose ball down their left and look to attack the penalty area. The ball arced towards the far post with the outside of his right boot. It's cleared as far as Fatawu. He comes inside. The shot is deflected. Vardy with a looping header, but no real power, all direction behind it, and it's claimed by Max O'Leary.
Yeah, they're unlucky there. Fatawu's deflected cross looped in the air, and really Jamie Vardy needed a big shout from Steffi Mavididi for him to attack the ball instead. Vardy's backpedaling, he can't really generate any kind of power, but that was the first time we'd seen Mavididi in a 1v1 against Zach Viner, and he was impressive. It's a nice ball that he fed into the area, wasn't it, with the outside of his right foot. He's a very exciting player to watch.
Now Vardy allows the ball to run for Dewsbury Hall down the centre. Mavididi in space down the left, looking to break into the penalty area. Back in field to Dewsbury Hall, comes back to Mavididi. Now Fatawu, right-hand side of the penalty area. Back in field, looking for Mavididi, but it's quickly cut out on the edge of the box by Roberts. A long ball forward from him, looking for Conway, but beyond him and Hermansen, some way outside his penalty area, will clear for Leicester.
Yeah, it's really sloppy from Fatawu there. He's got to be a little bit more sure with his pass. He's on the edge of the box, just flicks it towards Mavididi when it was a very simple, straightforward pass, and he could have had a shot from there. But yeah, he's been the bright spark, hasn't he, for Leicester City in the early stages, the left winger Mavididi. They look more like their usual selves here on the front foot.
About fast with his long hair being blown around by the blustery breeze at pitch level, clips it down the line right hand side looking for Fatawu, but it's headed away initially by Pring, and Bristol City in their red and white shirts will clear up to the halfway line, but it's given away straight to Winks, but then won back quickly by Knight with a solid challenge on Dewsbury Hall. That's going to be a key confrontation today. Tanner on this near side, and it's all the way back in field towards Viner. And now Matty James, who was a title winner with Leicester City back in 2016, back in the team today for another former Leicester title winner, Andy King, who is on the bench. But Bristol City look a much more secure team with Matty James at the base of midfield.
Yeah, look, he's got all sorts of experience. He's 32 now. He's clocked up a lot of miles at this level, hasn't he? He's a safe pair of hands, I think, in the base of the engine room. It's a very attacking lineup, I've got to say. Even though they've gone effectively with a back five, the rest of the side, the front three and the two central midfielders are all, attack-minded in a way.
A high ball wide towards this near side. George Tanner does well to bring the ball down. One of a number of players in the Bristol City team who's had a lengthy spell out with injury this season. Both Nigel Pearson and Liam Manning have found it difficult to pick settled teams for long spells, and that's not helped the consistency of their results. They were on the brink of the playoffs before this recent run of 5 defeats in 6 games. Now they're maybe slightly peering over their shoulders, but I don't think they'll be going down.
Nah, I just can't see it happening. I think they'll end up somewhere in mid-table, but that will go down. Yeah, again, it'll go down as a slight disappointment. But they don't have one of the bigger budgets in the division. Not anymore, anyway. They've cut back in recent years.
Oh, Hermansen allows a back pass to run right through his 6-yard area there, and Conway wasn't too far away from that.
He's the calmest man in the stadium, isn't he, Hermansen?
Now a mistake at the other end. Dickey has lost out. Vardy was almost in, but Dickey does well to recover. And it's played out by Viner. 7 minutes played here at Ashton Gate. Bristol City 0, Leicester 0 in the Sky Bet Championship on the home of the EFL TalkSport 2. Coming up at 3 o'clock, Ian Danta and Alvin Martin will bring you Queen's Park Rangers against Birmingham. Two teams hovering above the relegation zone. Then it's Blackburn against Ipswich at 5:30. Ollie Klink in the chair, and Cameron Pope and Mickey Gray on duty at Ewood Park. And then a big game at Vicarage Road tonight, 8 o'clock, Watford against Leeds with Jim Proudfoot and Chris Awelamo. Bristol City looking to build again here. A long-range shot fired in from fully 25 yards out from Jason Knight, but it's a comfortable save for Hermansen.
Yeah, very ambitious effort there from Jason Knight, who's probably not scored as many goals as he should have done this season. He's often been influential for Bristol City without maybe scoring or assisting enough. But yeah, look, this has got the makings, I think, of a really good game. But the conditions aren't ideal. It looks beautiful with the sunshine. The pitch looks fantastic. But these blustery conditions maybe suit Bristol City more than Leicester City. We know how much they like to keep the ball and knock it around. It's not going to be easy.
We can see the corner flag on the far side flapping around considerably, and the same goes for Wout Fass's hair over on the right-hand side as well.
He needs a headband or something, one of those Alice bands or something. But look, they're just trying to knock the ball around now, gain some confidence, just take the sting out of proceedings, Leicester City. They need to get this man on the ball a little bit more, Harry Winks.
A long ball played forward now, but Fatawu slips and it's gathered by O'Leary. 9 minutes played. You're listening to Bristol City against Leicester City in the EFL Championship on TalkSport 2 with McDonald's. Order McDelivery on the McDonald's app and get tasty reward points. 18 plus terms and conditions apply. Now Chowdhury heads it forward for Leicester again, but it's quickly recovered by Conway. Wide to the far side and Pring, and James takes over, looks to change the point of the attack with a high lofted ball wide to this near side, and Tanner, who is challenged by Mavididi, but Tanner bounces off him. Down the line for Mehmeti down the right. High cross towards the far post. It's nodded down by Pring. Recovered now by Viner. Good ball into the penalty area. Conway cuts inside, fires in the shot, but it's a comfortable save again for Hermansen.
Yeah, he's sharp, in and around the box, Tommy Conway. Lovely ball. Fed into the danger zone from Hayden Roberts. He just pinged it, zipped it into the feet of the striker. He controlled it, turned and hit the ball nice and early. Straight down the throat of the goalkeeper, Mads Hermansen, though. But, you know, they have settled into this game pretty well, Bristol City. Interesting dynamic over on that far side with Chowdhury, sort of nominally playing right back, but then he's having to come in field and look for the ball as an auxiliary central midfielder. He's also
Fast is pushing wide, isn't he?
They've almost switched positions. Scott Twine is someone that he's been assigned to as well, who's deliberately trying to draw Chowdhury away from the right back slots. There's a few tactical dynamics going on down there.
I think Vestergaard brings it forward now. Winks, poor ball from him though, straight to Mehmeti. Conway back in field, and now Knight in the centre circle. Pirouettes away from the challenge of Ndidi. Drives down the centre for Bristol City, slips it into the area, looking for Conway, but he was always the wrong side of Vestergaard, and it's gathered by Hermansen.
Yeah, I said ahead of kick-off that Bristol City might be outnumbered in midfield and they might struggle, but they've settled the better of the two, no doubt about it. Jason Knight in particular, box-to-box player. He's finding nice little pockets in between Dewsbury Hall and Harry Winks. He's going to drive into those holes as often as he can.
11 minutes played. Bristol City 0, Leicester City 0. We have a terrific viewpoint here from the Lansdowne stand at Ashton Gate, with Mandela House resplendent on the far side. The flats that were used in the filming of Only Fools and Horses. And it's a beautiful sunny day. We can see the sunshine glinting off one or two of the windows there. The floodlights are on, but no real need for them, although it was very dark when I arrived at the ground around 9:45. Hailstorms and heavy rain.
Wasn't it? It was
incredible.
I couldn't believe it, but yeah, then the sun came out, and it looks a picture down there, but the wind doesn't help.
But a great playing surface here. Of course, they share the ground with the Bristol Bears Rugby Union Club as well. Mavididi into the penalty area for Dewsbury Hall. Back towards Mavididi down the left-hand side. He's got support from Winks. But Leicester at the moment rather laboured in possession. They had one or two flashes of pace from Mavididi early on, but there are three Bristol City players around him now as he breaks towards the edge of the penalty area, and one of them, Zach Viner, simply sweeps the ball away.
Yeah, look, they're good out of possession, Bristol City. They won't offer up too many gifts. They've got a good structure to the team. They're going to have to work hard to break through. That's a good ball, though.
Here is Mavididi down the left-hand side now. Clips the low ball into the penalty area. And it's cleared away initially by Hayden Roberts. Mavididi, though, will regather. Has support from Justin. And Dewsbury Hall spins away from the initial challenge of Knight. Now Mavididi again, but he's at walking pace down the left-hand side. Both Tanner and Mehmeti look to make the challenge. Mavididi goes down, but according to Andrew Kitchen, the referee, no free kick.
He's absolutely looking for it there. He wanted to knock the ball past the defender and accelerate towards the byline. He overhit the ball, and then because of that, I think he was looking to initiate contact. I think the referee was smart there in the way that he avoided blowing his whistle. But look, this is the battleground that Leicester City fancy, isn't it? Mavididi up against Viner or Tanner in 1v1s, and looking to get him onto the ball at every opportunity, the Foxes.
Appeals for handball against Fatawu on the far side, and the referee agrees, and it will be a free kick for Bristol City. This is Leicester's first match on Good Friday since 2013. Of course, they had a long spell in the Premier League when teams don't tend to play on that date, and they've not won on Good Friday since 1973 when Keith Weller scored the only goal at Crystal Palace, and then they played the following day at Spurs, and Keith Weller scored again in a 1-1 draw.
Blimey.
Those were the days, weren't it? Back-to-back games. Now Mehmeti, a good ball forward to find Conway for Bristol City, breaking towards the edge of the penalty area. Right foot shot from him is beaten away, and the rebound from Twine fired into the ground, and Hermansen does brilliantly to recover and make the double save, and it's behind for a corner.
Well, it's too easy for Bristol City to slice through the second place side there. Conway does well. It's a lovely run. He isolates Fash in that 1v1. He knocks it out of his feet and he hits it crisply but straight to the keeper.
Corner played short. Roberts with a high ball to the far post. Bodies go tumbling inside the penalty area. It was Chowdhury tangling with Dickey at the far post. Nothing was given. It's a goal kick.
Yeah, just slightly alarming again. Bristol City coming through the heart of that midfield for that double opportunity. You know, Winks looks a little bit isolated there. He's got 2 or 3 players around him to look after. Conway can pull off the centre half too easily, and it's a 1v1. Where's the cover? Where's the compactness that you're looking for in a quality side? I think it's slightly worrying start to the game from a Leicester City point of view.
Well, 15 minutes played, very early days, it's 0-0, but at the moment Leicester are not quite firing. Winks, wide to the far side, maybe now. Fatawu, he'll try and take on Pring. He's come inside beyond him, and also James across the field towards the left, and Mavididi clipped into the penalty area for Dewsbury Hall, but again Viner saw it first and gets there first to clear the ball away.
Yeah, good strong defending. He started the game purposely as Zach Viner, but yeah, those runs from Dewsbury Hall into that left channel have been a trademark all season.
Winks now looking to break forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Now Mavididi again. Vardy makes the run towards the near post. It's beyond him. Headed away though by Pring initially, but Fatawu will gather. He then goes down under the challenge of Pring. And the assistant on the far side, George Byrne, was very close to that and says no free kick. Andrew Kitchen agrees, and that's twice now that Leicester players have gone down rather easily around the penalty area.
Well, it's what you do when you're a little bit desperate, isn't it? You're looking for help.
Only 16 minutes played. There's no time for desperation.
I agree, but it's the mindset of Leicester City at the moment. They're
scrambled.
They're clutching.
Yeah,
they're clutching for form. They know that they're not as fluid as they were. They know that they're not as compact as they have been this season.
Now Valfas has lost out to Conway. He breaks into the penalty area, goes down, but I think Conway was looking for that as well. And again, the referee says no penalty.
Wow, just one long ball. The centre halves end up crossing over. Conway gets the wrong side of Valfas. He's got to stand his feet, and he's in. And he hits the deck. It's almost like the wind blew him over there. Very strange.
There may have been the slightest contact, but nowhere near enough to send him down in
Absolutely
that position.
No.
Now Mavididi at the other end. Laid back to James Justin. Right foot shot from him is dragged wide. And the home crowd, you can still hear the boos following the decision by the referee not to give the penalty, and players from both sides are having words with the referee. He's had 3 calls so far, and I think he's got all 3 correct.
I agree with you. I didn't think that was a penalty at all. It was strange, because you would say, why does he fall over there inside the box? Because he's got wrong side of Fash, but I think he's looking for it. But again, that's twice now Conway has got into a 1v1 and put Fash in a difficult position.
Now it's headed towards the edge of the penalty area again. Valfas didn't know where Conway was there, allowed the ball to run across his body, but Conway had tried to go on the shorter side, so in the end he's able to clear. But at the moment, in those one-to-one situations, Valfas is not comfortable at all when Tommy Conway has the run at him. But now at the other end, it's hooked away by Tanner, but into the path of Dewsbury Hall. Here is Mavididi now for Leicester City, but again he heads into traffic and doesn't re-emerge with the ball. Conway for Bristol City, twisting and turning, but he's robbed by Chowdhury. Mavididi again has got Dewsbury Hall to his left, but goes to the right looking for Vardy, and it's cut out by Dickey. And Twine will try and bring it forward now for Bristol City, right to the challenge of Chowdhury. And now Knight is in space. The wide ball to the right is for Mehmeti. And here is Mehmeti now, looking to take on Justin. Comes in field, back towards Knight on the edge of the penalty area. Further square, and it's Roberts coming forward from central defence, wide towards Pring. The high cross into the penalty area. Justin heads the ball over his own crossbar, and it's another corner to Bristol City.
That's a really good game, end to end. I mean, there's no real control in it from either side, but it's got a lovely flow, and Bristol City are manufacturing some really good positions, aren't they? The kind of positions that that opponents of Leicester City were really struggling to enjoy earlier on in the season. There they moved it from right to left really smoothly. The ball comes in, and Justin, he has no option really but to put it behind for a corner kick.
19 minutes played, 0-0. Twine with the corner. It's very deep again towards Viner. Good, powerful header from him, but he was from a wide area at the back post, and it's claimed by Hermansen comfortably.
Yeah, he's settled down into the game. He's obviously had to make a couple of early saves, Mads Hermansen, and feeling better about himself after that early piece of indecision from the cross that was floated into the box that he basically didn't want to come out for. But yeah, he's had a couple of saves, and they need him. He's a really important player for Leicester City in the way that he builds attacks from the back. But yeah, they've got to calm down here, the Foxes. At the moment, it still feels as if they're running out. They've got no real ideas, no fluency, no cohesion as a team. It's basically, let's give it to Mavididi and let's hope that he can produce something. That's all I'm getting from Leicester at the moment.
Here is Dewsbury Hall, and again he's receiving the ball inside his own half, and the challenge comes in from Viner, who tracked this run, and it will be a throw-in to Leicester on this near side. A reminder coming up later on today, we've got commentaries on all of the top three. Leeds against Watford will conclude our coverage at 8 o'clock, and we have Ipswich at Blackburn at 5:30, and then on Monday another raft of huge games. Leicester against Norwich here on TalkSport 2 at 12:30. Another relegation six-pointer at 3, Stoke against Huddersfield. Then on TalkSport at 5:30, Ipswich against Southampton, followed by Leeds against Hull. That is at 8 o'clock. All massive games at both ends of the Championship on this bank holiday weekend. Now Ndidi with a crunching challenge on the far side, wins it back for Leicester, back in field towards Harry Winks, and here is Vestergaard. But again, so many Leicester players are receiving the ball at walking pace and are having to try and make things happen at a time when Bristol City have got themselves set.
Yeah, it's very slow, but this has been the way Leicester City have played for a lot of the season. This is the Maresca way, isn't it? It is the way, yeah, and they do inject pace into their attacks at times, but they do look a little bit more laboured. What I will say is Chowdhury's done well, a couple of occasions to come in field and win the ball.
Now Dewsbury Hall for Leicester, wide towards Mavididi, down the left-hand side. 3 wait for the cross in the centre, but it's back to James Justin once again, and now Mavididi again.
He's faced up by 2 or 3 defenders every time, isn't he?
Well, they clearly know, or clearly believe he's the danger player.
Yeah, but you've got to put 2 or 3 players around Mavididi to bounce the ball off. Don't just leave him isolated 1v1 every time, especially when he's outnumbered so much.
Leicester in their change strip, black shirts with that light blue sash across the shirt, and they've given the ball away again, but then Bristol City give it back to James Justin, who guides it all the way back towards Mads Hermansen, who has 12 clean sheets this season in the Leicester goal, but only 3 in the last 10 games, which really tells the story. Wout Faes clips it over the head of Dewsbury Hall, and it's quickly cut out by Tanner, and it's all the way back towards Zach Viner. 23 minutes played, and Bristol City, a team dreadfully out of form, look very comfortable at the moment, we have to say. Very comfortable. Yeah, I think that Liam Manning will be really, really pleased with how his side have looked after the ball, how they've created chances in the game, and yeah, I just think that they're very, very comfortable at this stage. Enzo Maresca won't be as happy. I've got to say, the centre-backs are so important, aren't they, with the way they pass it. I'll hold off. Here is an opportunity for Fatawu. Low cross into the near post for Vardy, but it's blocked. It was a good-looking ball in, and Vardy was on the move to finish, but Bristol City clear, but now Leicester have it back again. Fatawu down the far side, the right, and he's just clipped by a really good challenge on the edge of the penalty area by Pring, who won the ball, but Leicester do have their first corner with 24 minutes played on TalkSport 2, and it's goalless here at Ashton Gate. Yeah, the wingers are always a threat. They're a menace, aren't they, for Leicester City, Fatawu and Mavididi. This time it's Fatawu on that far side that wins the corner. Corner kick for Leicester, their first of the game. Dewsbury Hall whipped in towards the far post, beyond everybody, one bounce, straight out of play for a goal kick. Yeah, just going back to the point about the centre-backs, I think that Fash and
and Vestergaard's distribution has been a little bit sloppy in the early stages. They're looking to force passes into midfield, and they're giving it away under very little pressure, and that's giving Bristol City optimism. It's giving them energy around the stadium, because that they sense that the team they're up against are not that comfortable at the moment.
Jamie Vardy scored the only goal from the penalty spot when these two sides met at the King Power Stadium, as Vardy leaves something late there on O'Leary as he cleared the ball downfield, and I think that was as much a case of Jamie Vardy trying to make something happen here.
Yeah, well, sometimes you've got to be the spark, haven't you, the trigger, and Jamie Vardy's been that for so many years for Leicester City, the way that he presses. And the referee didn't see that, by the way, because I was watching the referee and his eyes were on the ball, and the ball had already left the goalkeeper when Vardy made contact with him, so he's guessed at that, the ref. And then I think Jamie Vardy
got it right.
Well, yeah, Jamie Vardy let him know that I know that you didn't see that.
But he's got 7 goals in 8 games since coming back from a knee injury, Jamie Vardy. Where would Leicester be without him?
But yeah, he is still their talisman. It's a brilliant story. An absolute club legend, Jamie Vardy.
Promoted from the Championship previously with Leicester City, the only player left from that time. Dewsbury Hall now coming forward, plays it square to Wilfred Ndidi, and it's clipped further wide towards Fatawu, who was in behind Pring, but Pring recovers well to make an excellent challenge, and Bristol City bring it clear. 26 minutes played, 0-0 here at Ashton Gate, as Twine has been fouled by Chowdhury, and it will be a free kick for Bristol City, which they take quickly.
Yeah, I'm enjoying that battle, Chowdhury with Twine. He's following him into midfield. He's sort of playing left side number 10, Scott Twine, and Chowdhury's effectively man marking him. And there's been 1 or 2 excellent 50-50s. On that occasion, he probably overstepped the mark, Hamza Chowdhury.
I'm just watching a replay of the penalty appeal at the other end, and Belfast did have hold of Conway inside the area, so it was only slight, and it probably wasn't enough to send him down.
Yeah, was he tugged down, or did he fall down once he felt that contact?
I think probably the latter.
Yeah, and in that case, I've got no
it's difficult for the referee, and of course there's no VAR in the Championship.
Thank goodness. Yeah. We don't have the benefit of replays here, unfortunately. Despite the brilliant stadium, the fantastic view, don't have a monitor. But yeah, this game is set up lovely, because you see in flashes, don't you, with Leicester City? You see their quality, you see how much talent they've got, but there's also a fragility with them that just wasn't there a few months ago.
Vardy's been fouled now midway inside the Bristol City half by Knight, and I think Vardy again made the referee absolutely sure there was some contact there to get the free kick, but I think he was fouled, and it will be a free kick here for Leicester City. They've had 55% of the possession so far, but all of the shots on target in the game, 4 of them have been for Bristol City.
Yeah, and they'll be delighted to have done that, but also a touch frustrated that they haven't tested Hermansen with better shots on goal. All of them were relatively routine saves, I think, anyway. So yeah, they've played very well, Bristol City, and maybe this has been a story of their season, their run of form. They're playing well without really, without scoring enough.
28 minutes played, Bristol City 0, Leicester City 0, free kick for the Foxes. Winks will flight it high into the penalty, and Belfast with the free header across the face of goal and wide. And I think he may have been caught in 2 minds there, whether to go for goal or try and pick out a teammate, but nobody anticipated at the far post.
It's a really good free kick from Leicester City. Fash just pulls towards the far stick, away from Jason Knight. Jason Knight's clambering, he ends up on his knees. Jason Knight, his marker. So we've got a free head at it, but it's against the wind, and it was never heading towards that far corner. It was always drifting wide.
Now James coming forward for Bristol City, looks to find Conway. Fats with a challenge, but straight back to James, and now Mehmeti in the central area. Left foot curler from him, and he got right underneath it, and it's high over the top.
That will frustrate Liam Manning, because he's manufactured space really well there. There's Anis Mehmeti. He shifted it from his right foot to his left, and he's on the edge of the D. He's central. He should really be hitting the target there. He shouldn't be ballooning it over the crossbar. He's let Leicester City off the hook. But again, it's Knight in midfield. He's been a really dominant player. Okay, a minute ago his marking wasn't too hot on Fash, but I think in general play, Jason Knight has probably been one of the best. Probably been the best midfielder on the show. Him and Matty James have really settled in excellently into this match.
Well, Leicester have Norwich at home, live on TalkSport 2, 12:30 on Monday. They've still got West Brom and Southampton to come. We'll be covering both of those games as well on the TalkSport network. Both those games at home, but curiously, Leicester have got more points away from home so far this season. The away form has been, well, tremendous. 13 wins, 3 draws and 3 losses.
Yeah, they've been superb because they can play both ways. They can just dominate the ball and completely control you, or they can hit you on the counter. I remember going to the game at Birmingham earlier on in the season who wanted to have a go at them, and they were sensational on the break that night. So they can beat you both ways.
Here is Mavididi now down the centre, finding Vardy inside the penalty area, just wide. Well, that was the sort of chance that Jamie Vardy has been gobbling up recently. Played in superbly by Mavididi. Clean through, but on the angle, and the shot beat O'Leary, but also the far post.
Should score, Jamie Vardy. It's an easy finish for him. 1v1, right side of the box. You just expect the net to bulge there. It's a brilliant move. Vardy comes short to create space in behind. Mavididi makes a diagonal run into it. He's picked out brilliantly, and then he finds Vardy, who spins his marker. It's superb football. All it's lacking there is the finish.
Well, James was late into the back of Tanner on this near side. It will be a free kick for Bristol City down their right. 31 minutes played. Goalless here at Ashton Gate. And don't forget, a triple bill of Premier League commentary, live and exclusive on TalkSport tomorrow. 12:30, Newcastle against West Ham. 3 o'clock, Spurs against Luton, and Brentford against Manchester United at 8 o'clock. Free kick from Viner, headed away initially, then Knight nods it over the top, rising above Dewsbury Hall, but gets far too much on that, and it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, the way that they opened up Bristol City was really impressive there. The quality of the movement. Mavididi saw the space really, really smartly as well. It was a beautiful diagonal, sort of a triangle, wasn't it? Ball from midfield into Mavididi, who plays the angle ball to Vardy, and he's in. The big surprise was that he missed the target, Jamie Vardy. That is a collector's item.
Well, certainly at the moment. Now Winks coming forward for Leicester. 13 minutes to play in the first half. Bright sunshine once again here at Ashton Gate. Bout Fass. Wide to Fatawu, back towards Fass again, who's around the back, clips it in, but it's headed away by Viner at the near post, headed further away by Knight, but Justin is there to recover. Leicester enjoying their best spell of the game here. Dewsbury Hall slips it in for Fass inside the penalty area, but he's caught the wrong side of Dickey, and Dickey will clear, but it's blocked by Fass, spins high into the air. Fass careers into the challenge with Mehmeti, which he was always likely to win. Now Vestergaard with a high ball over the top, and it's straight out of play.
Well, Fash needs this. He needs a breather because he's just ran all the way from centre back. He's overlapped down the right wing to put the ball in the box, and then the ball was like a magnet towards the Belgian, and he ends up touching the ball at right wing, at centre forward, in the left midfield slot, and finally he's back at centre half now, Fash, and he can get his breath back.
Throw-in for Bristol City on this near side. And it's thrown high up towards the halfway line by Tanner, returned by Justin, then Tanner slashes forward again. It's all a bit scrappy for the home side, but Twine tries to gather, then loses out. Now Ndidi, starting his first game since the end of December for Leicester. Mavididi with another ball forward, skimmed in with the outside of his right boot, looking for Dewsbury Hall, but it hits the ankles of Dewsbury Hall and spins behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, look, Maresca wants his players to express themselves, and he wants them to try things. So I don't think he's going to beat up Mavididi there for trying an outside of the foot pass. Not everything will come off. I really liked what came before, the little rat-a-tat-tat, one-touch football in triangles, just to play around Bristol City. I think the signs are there, the last 10 or 15 minutes, certainly the last 10 minutes, that Leicester are growing into the game.
Viner back towards O'Leary. who has played every single minute this season. Flicked on by Conway, and here is Twine, who's just beaten by the bounce of the ball, but Pring does well to recover it, and Twine now can break into the penalty area. The first shot is blocked. Back towards Twine again. Now Knight, 25 yards out for Bristol City, tries to find Mehmeti to the right, but he slips at the crucial moment, and it's gone behind for a goal kick.
Well, there's a slight lack of conviction about Bristol City inside the final third. When they get there, they're almost rabbits in the headlight. They're not quite sure what to do. They're not very decisive with their decision making, but again, it's just a long ball, isn't it? Up towards the centre halves, and they've looked uncomfortable. I think Fash and Vestergaard. It's not as if they're small guys, but they're not reading the flight of the ball. Maybe it's the blustery wind that's causing them problems here. But yeah, I think this is a tactic that Bristol City should continue with.
But Bristol City aren't necessarily looking to win aerial duels. They're trying to find the spacing behind, aren't they? Which makes it difficult for a central defender.
They're clipping the ball forward, whether it's to the chest, the head, or down into the channel. But yeah, Leicester have looked shaky dealing with that, and I think that will give the home side encouragement.
Now Vardy has given the ball away cheaply. Here is Knight on the edge of the penalty area. Left foot shot is blocked by Chowdhury, and it will spin away. Does it go behind for a corner? I think it does. There were appeals for handball there against Chowdhury, but I think it would have been harsh. But Bristol City do have the corner kick.
I mean, they're relinquishing possession too easy, aren't they, Leicester? I talked earlier about the centre-backs being sloppy. On this occasion, it's Vardy.
Corner kick, played short again, and in the end it doesn't come off for Bristol City, but they will have a throw-in on the far side with 9 minutes to play in the first half here. It's 0-0, and the busier goalkeeper has been Mads Hermansson.
And a lot of the problems have been sort of self-inflicted. It's giving the ball away. Turnovers have been a friend for Bristol City in this first half. The frustration, it'll be a big frustration for Liam Manning, is that they haven't been able to sort of turn one of those transitions into a goal.
Tanner coming forward now for Bristol City down the right, finding Knight again, slipped in short to Conway, who was some way from the penalty area. Now lofted forward again, looking for Mehmeti, brings it down brilliantly, he's away from Vestergaard and Fass. It's still Mehmeti, now Twine with the shot, blocked by Fass inside the area, and it's hammered to safety by Dewsbury Hall, but that was a chance. Now Vardy at the other end has won the ball in the aerial duel with Dickey, and he can break towards the edge of the penalty area. Low cross in from him though. It's cleared by Viner. Straight back to Vardy, who drives through and puts the ball across the face of goal and wide.
Oh wow, what a passage of play that was. Let's start with Vardy. Didn't he do well to hold the ball up initially and to then react? Once his cross was half cleared, he pounced on the loose ball so quickly and then drove into the box. His shot flashed across the face of goal. Was never going to find the bottom corner. But then prior to that, wow, Anis Mehmeti, lovely quick feet to get the wrong side of Vestergaard, who looked 6'6" there, didn't he, Vestergaard? He looked a bit lumbering as Mehmeti sort of weaved his way past him. And then I'm saying shoot, and he doesn't. He holds onto the ball, and the moment was lost.
Only 2 goals so far this season for Anis Mehmeti. It may be just that lack of conviction when it matters.
Yeah, he did the hard bit, didn't he? He did the bit that most players can't do. He controlled it brilliantly. He turned, he manufactured a bit of space, and then there was hesitation, and Leicester were able to get back and make a block. But yeah, they've not been watertight, have they, in this first half? I think Vestergaard and Fass in particular have struggled.
7 minutes to play, 0-0. Here on TalkSport 2, we'll be live to Loftus Road during half-time with Ian Dantep and Alvin Martin, looking ahead to our 3 o'clock commentary. Queen's Park Rangers against Birmingham. Justin with a cross into the area, which is beyond both Ndidi and Vardy, and it's claimed by Max O'Leary. Both Queen's Park Rangers and Birmingham hovering above the bottom 3 as it stands.
Massive game, that.
Yeah.
Lose and you really are in trouble.
And of course Gary Rowett back at Birmingham City, and you could say that their troubles in recent years started when they sacked him.
Yeah, was it Zola that came in after Gary Rowett? And yeah, I mean that. I
think it was great for selfies, but not necessarily for set pieces.
Yeah, very good. But it echoes really of what happened this year with Eustace out. For Rooney, they went for the glamorous.
They don't learn, do they?
No, they went for the glamorous.
Well, different ownership, but yeah, you've got to know what works in the Championship at times.
Yeah, same mistake. And yeah, make no mistake, Birmingham are in trouble.
Now Chowdhury looks to find Fatawu on the far side, but again the ball is overhit and it's gone behind for a goal kick. 5.5 minutes to play as a small black plastic bag blows across the field from the far side towards this near side, and the fact it's a crosswind makes it a very difficult one for the players to judge here.
Yeah, the conditions aren't great. They really aren't. I think, by and large they've coped okay with it. I think we've seen a lot more sloppy distribution than normal, but a lot of that I think is down to the conditions. But this is an even game, and the fact that it's an even game is a reflection really of where Leicester are at the moment.
Yes, because they're playing a team woefully out of form, and at times they've been second best, and now it's given away by Chowdhury very cheaply to Mehmeti inside the penalty area. The cross into the far post headed away by Chowdhury, recovered by Roberts, and that was almost a case in point there of Leicester being sloppy and it nearly costing them. But here is Winks finding Mavididi on the counter-attack on this near side, the left. Knight has come back to try and make the challenge. Once again there are 3 Bristol City players around Steffi Mavididi. It's very difficult for him. Well, what on earth was Chowdhury doing there inside his own penalty area to give it straight to Mehmeti?
It's what the manager wants them to do though, isn't it? He wants them to play out from the back, but it doesn't. It's so risky, and when you're not playing with great confidence, and Leicester aren't playing with good confidence, then that's when mistakes happen, and we've seen a lot of them in this first half. They're lucky, really, Leicester City, that haven't been punished by Bristol City in this first period.
Now Vestergaard wide to the far side, and Dewsbury Hall. The ball was behind Vardy, but he's clever enough to recover, and it's further wide towards Fatawu now down the right. He comes in field, then goes beyond Pring on the outside, but Pring recovers to concede the corner kick by stretching out a leg to divert the ball behind.
Yeah, that's brilliant from Dewsbury Hall. The way that he receives the ball on his back foot, completely bamboozles his marker in midfield, feeds it onto Vardy, who has a bit of a battle. He's strong, and he does what every good centre forward should do. He holds it, feeds it wide to Fatawu, who goes past his man but can't get the ball into the box. He has to settle for the corner. But yeah, look, we've been critical of Leicester here, but they've still got a lot of talented players that in the blink of an eye can hurt you.
3 minutes to play in the first half here. Bristol City 0, Leicester 0. Harry Winks will take the corner kick on the far side. It's an outswinger towards the near post over the head of Vardy. Bounces right through the penalty area, and it will be a Bristol City throw-in on this near side. And at the moment, Enzo Maresca, who is standing there on the edge of his technical area, will he be frustrated or maybe satisfied, maybe slightly relieved it's 0-0?
I think he'll be relieved it's 0-0 for sure. He knows there's a lot they can improve on. I think he'll be relatively relaxed. He strikes me as that kind of character, not least because Leicester do finish games well, don't they? And I think they've scored 32 goals in the final half hour of matches this season, so they're used to having to be patient. A lot of the time at the King Power it's goalless for an hour, and then they eventually wear the opposition
19
down.
Goals in the final 15 minutes of games.
Exactly, so I think
a long way to go.
There'll be no panic at all from him, but do I think he'll be impressed with his team? No, not really.
Well, Winks has gone down now, challenged by Mehmeti, who very quickly tells him to get up, but Winks has stayed down, hands over face. I don't think we've had either medical team on during the first half, but we won't do now either, as Winks is quickly back to his feet. And it will be a free kick which Vestergaard will take, and we have 90 seconds of normal time to play in the first half here. I can't imagine we'll have more than a minute or two of added time at the end of the first half. Now Dewsbury Hall back again towards Vestergaard, slipped beyond Dewsbury Hall again, and just that lack of quality in the passing which has cost Leicester.
It's been awful by their standards, because Vestergaard and Fash can pass the ball. We've seen it all season, but so many times under no pressure they've been wayward. I think that Maresca will certainly be having words with the team about that. Everything Leicester do is about control, and because the passing hasn't been good, they've not had sustained control at any time in this first half.
And we are inside the final minute of normal time in the first half as Viner loops a throw-in down the line on this near side, just in front of us. Knight hooks it forward, flicked on by Twine, then Conway. I think he was caught by Vestergaard, but no real hint of a foul, and it will be another throw-in. Martin Woods, the fourth official, is preparing the numbers board below to tell us how much added time we will have. Tanner will have time, though, to take the throw-in. And a big crowd inside here at Ashton Gate, but it's rather quiet at the moment, which shows that some may be absorbed, but neither side has really been consistent enough. But Mavadidi tries to bring it forward now for Bristol City, plays it back to Winks, and there will be just a single minute of added time at the end of the first half as Winks brings it down and goes back towards Vestergaard under pressure from Twine, and then all the way back towards Hermansen once again. And I think Liam Manning will be the happier of the two managers, simply because his team are lower down in the table and they've more than matched a team chasing automatic promotion as Pring rises to nod it back towards Max O'Leary once again and gets warm applause from those around us here at Ashton Gate.
Yeah, no, I think he should be delighted with the quality of his team's performance. They've not been pulled apart that often. They've created some good opportunities. They've worked hard to create those turnovers. It's just their decision making inside the final third that's been off, and that has been the story of their season. They've scored 42 goals, which is the same as Birmingham and Huddersfield, who are right in the mire.
And that's half time. So here are the two teams once again. Bristol City, O'Leary in goal, Viner, Dickey and Rogers the back three, Tanner, James, Knight and Pring across midfield, Mehmeti and Twine behind Conway. The Leicester team, Hermansen in goal, Chowdhury, Fass, Vestergaard and Justin, Dewsbury Hall and Winks, Fatawu and Didi and Mavadidi behind Vardy. And it's Jamie Vardy who will get the second half underway here. Leicester attacking the goal away to our right, away from their supporters in the Atio stand in their black shirts with a light blue sash. Bristol City in their red shirts with a white pinstripe, white shorts and white socks. And a big 45 minutes coming up for Leicester City here, Adrian Clark, because they need to be better.
They need to be much better, yeah. And I expect them to be. They were unusually edgy, I think, just on the back of recent results. 1 win in 5. They've lost a little bit of that self-belief, that cohesion that made them such a wonderful team to watch early on in the campaign. And they've been a shadow of that side here so far today, but they're still level. And they'll fancy themselves to go up a gear, I think, and maybe punish Bristol City for missing those first half chances.
Well, a point would be enough to take Leicester back on top of the table before Leeds play live on TalkSport 2 at Watford this evening. But one of Leeds, Leicester or Ipswich could be top of the table by the end of tonight.
Yeah.
Conway looking to play it forward, and Twine wasn't too far behind Chowdhury there, just managed to head the ball away on the edge of the Leicester penalty area. Now Viner, good ball from him to find Tanner in space down the right, low ball in towards Conway. Important challenge from Vestergaard at the near post as Conway looked to sweep the ball in. Leicester will try and bring it clear on the far side with Mavadidi. His challenge goes to ground, but eventually a free kick's been given to Leicester City.
Yes, superb defending from Vestergaard there. It's a nice little pass, wasn't it? Clipped over the top, I think, from Knight for George Tanner, the right back to chase, or the right wing back. He gets there. The wind is trying to blow the ball out of play. He gets there. He cuts it back into a lovely area. But Vestergaard, with those long legs of his, just stepped out at the right time to make the interception. But yeah, there we saw the downside of Mavadidi. Great on the ball, but maybe, without the ball, he is prone to switching off on occasion.
2 minutes played in the second half. Bristol City 0, Leicester 0. And you're listening to Bristol City against Leicester in the EFL on TalkSport 2 with McDonald's. Order McDelivery on the McDonald's app and get tasty reward points. 18 plus, terms and conditions apply. As Leicester have to do some more defending here as Viner comes forward from the back for Bristol City, but in the end he was quickly closed down, and all Pring can do is play the ball off, and Didi and it will be a throw-in for Bristol City, and you wonder how much Wilfred Ndidi has in his legs after so long out of the starting lineup.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it's a strong bench here today, so I think Ricardo is someone that I see coming on in the second half. He could come on and actually fill in that position. We've seen him play there quite a bit this term. I always think Leicester are a better side when Ricardo Pereira's in it.
He just gives them that security when they don't have the ball and allows them to be more expansive in difficult areas, because often he can mop up the mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he is like two players rolled into one.
Oh, and now it's given away cheaply on the edge of the Bristol City penalty area initially by Viner, but it's quickly won back, and Bristol City do work very hard without the ball, and now they come forward on this near side with the youngster Hayden Roberts. A long ball over the top, and Conway's in space here down the left-hand side. Chowdhury comes across for the challenge, but that's ridden by Conway. Now Pring back towards the run of Roberts on this near side. Roberts with a low cross into the penalty area. Breaks towards Twine with a shot, never quite set for it. Dragged it into the body of the Leicester player in front of him, and Leicester have the opportunity to clear on this near side, and eventually the flag is raised for offside.
It's just, that's the game in a nutshell. Leicester poor in terms of tracking of runners. I was watching there. Tommy Conway came towards the ball. He was followed by Wout Fash, and he just spun. And it was just so easy, the way he just escaped his marker. They clipped the ball into the space, and from there, they carve out a good opportunity. And Scott Twine really should be a little bit more dynamic, I think, inside the box.
And Wout Fash, a player who will be going to the Euros with Belgium.
I mean, he surely can't get in there. So if he gets in their team, they got no chance of winning it. But for me, it's just really rank bad defending.
Now Ndidi with a chase down the centre, but O'Leary will just backpedal and allow the ball to bobble through from inside the area.
Yeah, it's like, well, I'm following the manager's instructions. I'm getting tight to the centre forward, but if Conway's spun you 3 times already, which he has in the game, then be ready for it. Be prepared. To try to do something to stop it, but he hasn't in this game. I think he's had a really poor afternoon so far, Fash.
5 minutes into the second half, 0-0. Bristol City win a throw-in on this near side. Scott Twine will take it back towards Matty James, who is back in the team today after 5 games out with an Achilles injury. And again, Bristol City do look a better team with Matty James at the base of their midfield. Viner into the path of Conway, looks to spin away from Fass again. That's his game in the second half, basically just playing on Fass and seeing what he can do. But Leicester come forward now with Dewsbury Hall in towards Vardy, with the shot is blocked by the legs of O'Leary. Comes back out to Mavididi, and O'Leary's there again to block at the near post, and it will be a corner.
Wow, it's absolutely sensational goalkeeping from Max O'Leary. It's great football between Dewsbury Hall and Vardy. Vardy links it, goes to Dewsbury Hall, gets the ball back. I mean, this is a straightforward opportunity, and he's gone straight at the keeper.
Winks with the cross into the penalty area, right down the throat of the Bristol City goalkeeper, who bowls it out high to the halfway line. Winks had to get back there and cut that ball out, and he did. And Leicester now can come forward again with Mavididi down the left-hand side. Comes in field. Fatawu is in space on this near side, but it's further wide towards Winks. And again, Leicester have rather lost that momentum as they look to bring it forward, and their fans try and get behind them.
Yeah, look, it was better football, wasn't it? I really enjoyed that link-up between Vardy and Dewsbury Hall. It opened up Bristol City's back three brilliantly. And look, he's 12 yards out, centre of the goal. You expect him to score. It's a great first save from the keeper, but what's even more impressive is that the ball falls to Mavididi. He shifts it out of his feet very, very quickly, strikes the shot powerfully, and the second save for me was absolutely top class from O'Leary, and it has kept Bristol City in the game.
Now the giant figure of Vestergaard as the sun comes out again here in Bristol. Wide to the far side from Dewsbury Hall to find Mavididi. Tanner's played him quite well so far, but Mavididi delivers the cross in this time, but it's overhit, and it took a deflection on the way through, and it will be a corner to Leicester.
Yeah, he's very persistent. He will keep on running at his man, Stefan Mavididi. Seen a lot of the ball, hasn't he, today? He'll be frustrated not to have sort of fashioned, more than one shot on target. course, those were the first 2 shots Leicester have had on target, Nigel, in the game. Happened in the space of, 5 seconds?
52 minutes played here on TalkSport 2. Leicester corner on this near side, which Dewsbury Hall will take. High towards the far post. It's allowed to bounce inside the area. Cleared as far as Mavididi. He now gets it back from Ndidi, and then it's wide towards this near side and Fatawu. And Leicester have more good possession here, deep inside the Bristol City half. Mavididi on the left. Both Mehmeti and Tanner are back, and in the end it's a poor cross in towards the near post, which is quickly cut out by Knight, who's got time to turn and find Conway now in space, but I think he knew that Fast was careering towards him, and Fast does well to actually backheel the ball into the path of Fatawu, and Leicester can build again.
Yeah, this is better though from Leicester. There's a bit more tempo about them, moving the ball slightly quicker just as they slow it down, but yeah, they seem more at it for sure. That's a good run from Vardy.
Vardy now on the edge of the penalty area, tried to just hook it further wide to Fatawu, but got too much on it, and it's straight out of play, and it will be a throw-in. A reminder coming up at 3 o'clock on TalkSport 2, as we heard at half-time. Loftus Road, Queen's Park Rangers against Birmingham with Ian Danter and Alvin Martin. Then at 5:30 we head north to Ewood Park, Blackburn against Ipswich, with Cameron Pope and Mickey Gray, and Jim Proudfoot and Chris Owellamo will bring you Watford against Leeds at 8 o'clock from Vicarage Road. It's a big day, full card in the EFL and the National League, and Game Day Live with Adrian Durham over on TalkSport will be the place to follow all of the action, all the goals as they go in throughout the day. Some big games as well further down the leagues. Wrexham against Mansfield stands out in League 2 later on today as well.
Yeah, it's a biggie. Yeah. Winner goes up. Certainly if Mansfield win.
Certainly if Mansfield win. Wrexham have still got some work to do. They've not scored in their previous home games after sweeping all before them earlier this season. Now Winks finding Vestergaard. And Winks again. A player who stepped down from the Premier League to try and lead Leicester back into the Premiership, as the high ball into the penalty area controlled by Fatawu tries a back heel back into the area, and that was something which was high risk in that sort of situation.
He's very casual, isn't he? So, I mean,
if it comes off, then great,
yeah,
but if it doesn't...
he scored some great goals this season, he's produced some amazing moments, but I think he'd frustrate me if I was one of his teammates, because he does a lot of things that are daft.
Yeah.
And Mavididi is similar to a degree. We've seen some really woeful crosses or attempts at crosses in the game, but we know that he's got brilliance in his boots as well. So I don't want to be too critical, because they've carried Leicester at times this season, the two wingers, but they will frustrate as well as entertain.
Both coaches have sent out members of their benches to warm up beneath us here. And Leicester do have a very strong bench. Patson Daka, Ricardo Pereira, Kelechi, Iheanacho, 3 players who could come on. Yeah. Bristol City have a free kick on the halfway line again. 56 minutes played here, and we still await the opening goal. The point would be enough to take Leicester top, but in the bigger picture, not really enough.
No. They've got to be coming here and winning the game. And look, they still could win the game without ever hitting top gear. Oh, that's better from Chowdhury.
He's lost out though to Roberts, and now Twine slipped into the centre circle, laid off by Mehmeti, but straight to Fatawu, who can come forward now for Leicester. Now Dewsbury Hall, but he heads into trouble, but he was fouled there, I think, by the second challenge from Mehmeti rather than the first challenge from Knight, and it will be a Leicester free kick just inside the Bristol City half. Yeah,
what I've seen different in the second half is players like Justin and Winks and Dewsbury Hall maybe travelling with the ball a bit more and then committing a defender, so moving with it to draw them in to then free up the spare man. That's what they were lacking in the first half when everyone was a little bit too static. There has been an upturn, and we've seen shots on target, but still no goal.
Now Justin, high into the penalty area, looking for Fatawu at the far post, who's done well to at least ensure that Wout Faes can now bring it forward down the right, twisting and turning away from Twine. Jinking winger's play, followed by a central defender's cross behind the goal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's honestly, as a winger, it's so embarrassing when you do that. If you just put the ball out for a goal kick, it's just a cringy moment. And yeah,
what about your central defender?
Well, look, I think Faes did the hard bit. Like, it's lovely quick feet, wasn't it? But it's not a hard ball. It's really easy, I've got to say, to keep the ball in play. And yeah, that was just incredibly slack.
And we've seen so many plays. Oh, here's a mistake by Fatawu. Conway with a chance, but he's put it wide, but he's offside. Well, Fatawu gifting the ball in the wide area on this near side to Bristol City. And it was played in towards Conway. It was Cameron Pring who won the ball, but then Conway was offside, but he missed anyway.
Oh, how lucky are Leicester City there. How many times are they going to offer up chances to Bristol City with a loose pass inside their own half today? It's remarkable that they've got away with it until this point. That was very fortunate, because it really comes off a Bristol City player, which is why he's offside. It wasn't as pass as such.
Now Faes on this near side, back in field to Chowdhury again, all the way back towards Hermansen. He clears up towards the halfway line. Good leap though by Roberts above Ndidi, but Faes has it again for Leicester. 59 minutes played here on TalkSport 2. Bristol City 0, Leicester 0, and once again the Foxes have been underwhelming here in their bid to return to the Premier League. A team who was so far ahead, it seemed only a matter of time, but if it stays like this, it will be so tight for the top three, heading deeper into the Good Friday programme. But here is Faes now, deep into the penalty area, tries to pull it back. It's shovelled away by O'Leary at the near post, and he's helped up by Pring, who will clear.
Well, that's exactly what I was talking about a minute ago, wasn't it? Players travelling with the ball and committing a defender. Winks did it to release Faes. Faes did it to play the 1-2, and he did really well, actually, to get to the byline.
Chowdhury just manages to ride the challenge of James inside the centre circle, and there are so many Leicester players at the moment facing one-on-one situations. If they lose them, it's turned over and they're in real trouble. They are really playing on the edge here.
Yeah, they've played this way all season. It's taken them far.
Here is Dewsbury Hall now, pulls it back into the penalty area behind Vardy, and in the end Ndidi is penalised for a challenge on Roberts, and there'll be a double change here. Mark Sykes is coming on for Scott Twine for Bristol City, and Ross McCrory will be the other player to come on.
I think Scott Twine will be frustrated. Hasn't really been able to impact the game in the way that he knows he can. Mark Sykes has been pretty impressive, actually, for the most part this season.
George Tanner, the other player to come off, and Ross McCrory will come on in a straight swap down the right-hand side.
Yeah, just thinking about a Leicester change. I think I'd be looking to change Ndidi. He hasn't stamped his authority on the game at all. I think he's down there. But has he really taken part in the game, Wilfred Ndidi? Player of his quality, certainly hasn't really impacted it.
He's not match fit, is he?
He looks like a player that's been out a while, doesn't he? So,
and I suppose, how do you get him match fit?
Yeah, you've got to give him minutes. And we know what he's capable of, but yeah, I don't think it'll be long before Maresca makes a change with him.
61 minutes played, and it's still Bristol City 0, Leicester City 0. And we were talking this game up, the importance of it for Leicester City, but at the moment they've had chances, they've had flashes, but the overall performance has not been convincing. But at this stage of the season, it is all about the result. If they scramble a late goal and win 1-0, no one will care about the performance. Now Viner, all the way back towards O'Leary again, who plays it back out towards Viner, given straight to Vardy. Oh, he's put it wide. What an opportunity for Jamie Vardy. Presented the ball on the penalty spot. He was on his own and he failed to hit the target.
Well, I can't believe what I've just seen. For the third time this afternoon, Jamie Vardy has been presented with a pretty straightforward chance.
Well, it's a brilliant save by O'Leary in the end, but even so,
it's a brilliant save. But Jamie Vardy has to be sticking those in the back of the net. He's had on a bad day for Leicester City. He's had 3 big chances and he's failed to take any of them. That is brilliant goalkeeping though from Max O'Leary.
Dewsbury Hall with the corner kick, swirled in over the head of Fass. Mavididi will try and keep the ball in play. I don't think he did. He didn't. It's a goal kick, but that was Bristol City looking to play the ball out, and it drops to Vardy. He's been in red hot form, but today, well, I wouldn't say he's been ice cold. He's been the opposite. It's just not happened for him.
No, and I think in general play he's looked sharp. He's looked really at it. He's linked play nicely. He's made good runs, but when chances have come his way, and this is his great strength. He's been lethal this season, but today, for whatever reason, he's tightened up, and yeah, he's given Max O'Leary a chance to save that, hasn't he? You know,
he could have taken it round him. He could have
had all day long. I mean, it's a gift from Bristol City, playing out from the back. They lose it on the edge of their own 18-yard box. He's got 10 seconds to weigh up his options, and but credit the goalkeeper. That's 3 magic saves he's made in this second half.
And Bristol City with only 1 clean sheet in their last 13 games in that 1-0 victory here against Swansea. Well, Max O'Leary has worked hard to try and extend that run here as Fatawu fouls Pring. It will be a free kick for Bristol City on this near side. Back to James. And at the moment, this does have the look of a game which will be decided by 1 goal. Which way it goes, we can't really tell at the moment, although Leicester have had the best chances in the second half. We welcome listeners from TalkSport to Ashton Gate. 64 minutes played. It is still Bristol City 0, Leicester City 0, but we've just seen a golden opportunity for the Foxes. Bristol City looking to play out. It was gifted to Jamie Vardy, 12 yards out, central position. But in the end, Max O'Leary made a brilliant save, but Vardy, with 7 goals in 8 games, really should have scored. But Adrian Clark, who was alongside me, on the whole, Leicester have not been good enough.
No, they've been really, really poor here so far this afternoon. Very, very edgy, particularly at the back with Fass and Vestergaard. Bristol City have had some great opportunities to score. They've been gifted opportunities to score, but they haven't been able to take them. But then, just a minute ago, it's Bristol City that offer up a chance for Leicester, trying to play out from the back. He's 12 yards out. He's got 5 to 10 seconds to weigh up his options, Vardy. You think it's a guaranteed goal, but it's saved. It's a sensational save from Max O'Leary.
Commentary continues over on TalkSport 2. 65 minutes played. It's still 0-0. It will be a throw-in, which Hamza Shawbi will take on this near side. And the ground still buzzing after that miss from Vardy, or the save from O'Leary, in fairness to him. But can Leicester create the one chance to end this sequence of 4 points in 5 games? And even the game they won against Sunderland, they were far from convincing.
Yeah, they went into retreat mode there. It was a bit of a panic up towards the end. Look, this match could go either way. I still think Bristol City have got a big chance in them.
Good ball from Roberts to find Mehmeti. Bristol City moving forward now. Mehmeti's got space, and McCrory wide on the far side. McCrory back in field towards Mehmeti. He delays, and eventually the shot is not fired in by the Albanian yet again. Sykes, though, recovers for Bristol City over on the far side. Challenged, though, by Mavididi, and it will be a throw into Bristol City. But why doesn't Mehmeti shoot?
I don't know. It's twice now. You know, they're scrambling, aren't they, Leicester?
Viner coming forward down the right. Further wide again towards Sykes. Back to James. James with the high cross into the penalty. Headed away by Fatawu. Appeals for handball as the ball dropped inside the area, but I think it would have been harsh. Headed forward again, though, by Dickey. And Bristol City suddenly enjoying a good spell. Pring has got Mehmeti in space down the left-hand side. Just delays the cross, though, but now he does cross into the area onto the head of Fass, though. Dickey, though, steps in before Vardy to win it back for Bristol City. The Foxes rather penned in at the moment. Roberts back towards Knight, and here is Pring again, and Knight now can advance on goal 30 yards out. All of the width is to his right hand side, and Viner will find McCrory, who's just come on. He steps inside beyond Mavididi, deep into the penalty area, and fires it into the side netting. And Ross McCrory almost comes up with an instant impact.
Well, he should do better once he beats Dewsbury Hall. This is an embarrassing attempt at a tackle from Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. He just skips around him as if he's a mannequin, and then he's got to go across the face of goal. Instead he goes side netting, and the chance is wasted. But yeah, good response from Bristol City to that Vardy miss.
67 minutes played. It is still goalless here as Bristol City try and come forward again, but Pring just overruns it, and Fass will gather. And I just think Fass against Conway could produce the only goal of this game.
It could. Conway certainly fancies it. You know, he's looking to loiter around Fass at every opportunity he can. His movement's terrific. That's a good ball though.
Long towards Dewsbury Hall, but just beyond him as it dropped over his shoulder. And it's claimed by O'Leary again.
Yeah, it's opening up now, the game.
Knight plays it wide to this near side for Bristol City. And Mehmeti. Conway waits in the centre. Mehmeti looks to hit the byline, goes down under the challenge from Chowdhury. And in fairness to Chowdhury, he's entitled to have words there with Mehmeti, because the challenge was wafer thin, and it was a joke that Mehmeti went down. As another change about to be made. Naki Wells is coming on for Bristol City.
Yeah, will it be for Conway? Let's have a look.
Yes.
It will, yeah. Very rarely.
I'll take back what I said earlier.
Well, maybe Wells, you know, fresh legs. He's a canny striker, isn't he, Naki Wells? He's been around a while. I think Conway's put in a good shift there.
Only scored once in September, Naki Wells.
Yeah, it's not exactly prolific, but he's a capable performer at this level. Be interesting to see what Maresca does with Vardy, because Vardy's had an off day in front of goal, but as we said earlier on, he's the guy that he trusts. He's the one that has delivered.
He's had lots of off days and then scored winning goals.
Exactly, but he's got Daka on the bench. He's got Iheanacho. Will he potentially pair Vardy with one of them?
Now Chowdhury does well to evade the challenge of Wells. Back to Vestergaard, and now wide to the far side. And Justin, as we tick towards the final 20 minutes here on TalkSport 2, and it's still Bristol City 0, Leicester 0. Queen's Park Rangers against Birmingham coming up at 3 o'clock. We'll have team news very shortly from there, and then Blackburn Ipswich at 5:30, and Watford Leeds at 8. All live and exclusive to national radio on the home of the EFL, TalkSport 2, and in the Premier League on TalkSport tomorrow, Newcastle West Ham at 12:30. Spurs Luton at 3, Brentford against Manchester United at 8 o'clock. Looking forward to being at the G-Tech tomorrow. Big day for Brentford, you feel, as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're sleepwalking into a relegation battle, aren't they? Terrible run of form they've been on, Brentford. I think since the start of December they've lost 12 games.
14 defeats in 18.
Yeah, it's remarkable. So, yeah, I think United will fancy their chances in that one.
Now McCrory on the far side for Bristol City. Vestergaard with a high ball over the top, but the ball had gone out of play in these blustery conditions, and it will be a throw-in. And for those Leicester fans, some of whom got up very early to make the journey, M5, M4 on a Good Friday morning is never the best route. It's been a fairly difficult watch for them at times.
Tough watch. Yeah, look, they've had the moments where they've been out of their seat thinking, bang, this is the goal, this is the moment we score. Vardy's been presented with 3 biggies, but they've also had some really hairy, scary moments too. This has been a far from convincing display, but look,
there's still time to win the game.
Yeah, and they are the late day specialists. You said the stat earlier. I think 32 goals in the final half an hour. Was it 19 in the last
19
15?
in the final 15 minutes,
yeah.
And 12 goals from subs.
Yeah.
So we'll see if someone can come off the bench to score the goal. Here was Dewsbury Hall fighting James Justin, tries to play it infield towards Vardy. There were appeals for a penalty there inside the area as Vardy and Dickey had it coming together, but nothing is being given. Now Dewsbury Hall wide to the far side, the cross is fizzed in towards Vardy, comes to Fatawu, who tries to curl it towards the far post, and it's wide.
Wow, I think they should have a penalty here, Leicester City. I think James Justin is absolutely taken out inside the box by Rob Dickey. It's a great move. He gets into the byline, he slips the ball back, and then he's absolutely clattered. Play continues. The referee doesn't want to make that decision, And in the end it comes to Fatawu, who should do better. He curls the ball wide of the far post, and really it's not that difficult to find the bottom corner. But yeah, I think Leicester might have been unlucky there.
Well, that's maybe
challenge.
one non-penalty apiece after what happened between Fass and Conway in the first half. Now Naki Wells chasing at the other end. Hermansen comes outside his penalty area to clear. Sykes maybe could have gone for the spectacular there, but instead chose to control the ball 40 yards out. Now low in towards Mehmeti on the edge of the penalty. Left foot shot from him is a brilliant goal from Anis Mehmeti, and Leicester City are behind once again. And their promotion challenge, which appeared to be a formality not so long ago, is crumbling. They could be heading for defeat yet again at the start of the Easter programme. Anis Mehmeti with a brilliant finish from the edge of the penalty area, and Leicester are wobbling. 1-0 to Bristol City.
That is a scorcher from Anis Mehmeti, and Bristol City deserve it. Leicester City have been edgy all game long. They've got away with it all game long until now. And Mehmeti has space on the edge of the box. He shifts it onto his left foot and he buries it. No one closes him down. Hamza Chowdhury stands there. He says, go on then, shoot. So Mehmeti does, and it is a rocket.
Wow. Leicester City have been in the top two for 216 days, but by the end of today, if they lose and Ipswich and Leeds win, that's where they will be. Third in what for so long seemed a one-horse race.
It's incredible. And what with all the issues off the pitch, it feels like everything's falling apart for Leicester City.
Now Wells, a good ball wide towards Sykes, picks his way into the area, fires it in low, blocked at the near post by Hermansen. It will be a corner, and it was almost two.
Well, they smell blood. Bristol City, Sykes and McCrory have elevated the team. They've lifted them down that right-hand side. He's just nutmegged Harry Winks there. It's a good save in the end from Hermansen. He tries to give the keeper the eyes, and he saves that with his back leg. They fancy a second here.
Corner kick on the far side, whipped in towards the far post, right towards Dickey, who nods it down for Wells, appeals for offside, and he is offside. Half-time also in the Championship at the Den. Millwall lead West Brom by a goal to nil. That's a big game at both ends of the table as well.
Yeah, Millwall feel safe, don't they? West Brom, to be honest, West Brom, I don't see them giving up a playoff position. So
Duncan Watmore with the only goal there.
Yeah, no major damage there, but here, this is big.
This is absolutely massive now for Leicester City. Yeah. With 15 minutes to play, a goal down. This could be 4 points in 6 games. Really, they needed a win here today. A point may not be enough in the bigger picture. But they're chasing the equaliser with Mavididi wide on the far side. All of a sudden they've got less than 15 minutes to go to try and rescue this game. A goal down to Bristol City.
Yeah, it feels desperate, doesn't it? Well, Ian Acho has been charged with the task of maybe spearheading the comeback.
Well, there's a break in play here. Oh, by the way, Ian Acho has come on and Vardy has gone off. The Bristol City fans bouncing on the far side. Their team are a goal up. Let's go to a match concerned at the other end of the table. Queen's Park Rangers against Birmingham. It's our 3 o'clock commentary on TalkSport 2. The team news from Ian Danta. Thanks, Dance. And of course, after that, we have at 5:30 Blackburn against Ipswich and Watford against Leeds. And if you're an Ipswich fan on the way up to Blackburn or a Leeds fan on the way down to Watford, this really is music to your ears as Hamza Chowdhury comes off and Ricardo Pereira comes on.
Yeah, this is the result that Ipswich and Leeds fans were desperate for today. Maybe didn't expect it, but they would have loved to seen it. And look, we're into the final 13 minutes. I don't see there being stacks of injury time here. 3 shots on target from Leicester. Yeah, and 2 of those came in the same move, remember, with a double save from O'Leary. The third one was a sensational stop. Vardy's got to score. He's got all day to finish it. And he picks the wrong option, but it's still a stunning, game-changing save from him. And And Mehmeti at the other end, once he decided to shoot, he's caused some serious damage with that left foot of his.
Mehmeti coming forward again now, the goal scorer, with 13 minutes to play. Bristol City leading by a goal to nil. Mehmeti tries to curl it in, looking for Wells, but it's claimed by Hermansen once again. 12 minutes to play. Leicester 12 minutes away from yet another defeat. It will keep them off the top. They could be falling to third by the end of today. But here is Dewsbury Hall looking for Iheanacho. He's offside. He clips the ball into the back of the net. It was actually a really good finish from Iheanacho, but he was offside.
Cool as you like from the Nigerian. But yeah, the flag did go up nice and early. It's a lovely, incisive through ball from Dewsbury Hall. But look, in patches, Leicester City have shown their class and their quality today. But they've been so ragged. They've given the ball away in bad areas throughout the 90 minutes, and it's always kept Bristol City in the game. It's given them hope. It's presented them with opportunities to hurt Leicester, and finally, after spurning several, they got one right. And all of a sudden, Leicester are in the panic mode.
Jason Knight is coming off for Bristol City, and Joe Williams is coming on. So, straight swap in midfield. And this would be the biggest win so far for Liam Money. Of course, beat Southampton here.
Yeah, beat Coventry as well. They've had some good results here, but they've also lost 8 games at Ashton Gate, and I think the whole of last season they only lost 7. So it's been a real mixed bag for them here. Today they've played well, and I don't begrudge them the lead here. I think they deserve it.
And they go to Plymouth for, well, if you stretch it, it's a Southwest derby on Monday. I'm sure Bristol fans headed to Plymouth may disagree.
Hey, look, I come up from Cornwall, way past Plymouth yesterday, and it took me pretty much all day to get to this part of the world. So
now Roberts
no chance of derby.
Roberts has been fouled on this near side by Fatawu, and the Leicester fans behind that goal, gloomy.
Well, they're standing there and they're shocked at how bad their team have become. It's crazy, because we were all waxing lyrical. We were all saying how brilliant they were. The quality of the football wasn't fair on the Championship. We've all used those terms that they're a Premier League side playing in the wrong division. Well, at the moment and across the last 6 games, they've looked like a pretty average Championship side. That's what confidence can do to you. It's amazing, really. They've lost their edge. They've lost that spark that you need. And I think when you play the type of football that Leicester have to play under Maresca, so much of it is based around being confident. And once that goes, it can quickly fall apart, and that's what we're seeing here.
9 minutes to play. Bristol City 1, Leicester City 0. This is such a significant start to the Easter weekend on the home of the EFL. Williams with the free kick into the penalty area. Dickey was the player who was attacking it, straining every sinew, but just beyond him and claimed by Hermansen. Is there a response from Leicester here? Ricardo Pereira just clipped by Naki Wales, and he'll be booked. First yellow card of the day.
Yeah, it's a cynical one. Definitely a yellow card in my view. But yeah, what do Bristol City do here? I don't think they sit on it. I think they have to continue to plug away and look to get a second goal, because you don't want to, put up with an onslaught from Leicester in the final 10 minutes or so.
Now Vestergaard. Ndidi plays it wide to Mavididi. The cross in is flicked away at the near post by Dickey. He got slightly fortunate because Fatawu was coming in behind him, but he couldn't make contact. Now it's cleared long downfield again. So the top of the table, as it stands, Leeds played 38-82. Leicester played 38-82. Leeds have got a goal difference which is 2 better. Ipswich played 38-81.
It's a classic, isn't it?
And then you've got Southampton 36-73. Win those games in hand, they're back in it as well, considering who they have to play.
Yeah, it's remarkable. And what's even stranger is that these points tallies that the top 3 have would have got them top 2 at the end of last season.
Yeah, I think we'll have 4 teams here with averaging 2 points a game.
Yeah, because Luton were third, I think, on 80 last year. You know, three teams have bettered that already. Nine to go. So the standard at the top end has been ridiculously good this season. But look, one or two of them might not go up. That's the brutal reality of it. And one of those might be Leicester City. And I can't believe I'm saying it.
Well, Norwich are currently in the final playoff place. They go to the King Power on Monday, live on TalkSport 12:30. We'll see what they do later on today. But they're a team full of goals at the moment, full of confidence.
Well, look at the form table, and Norwich are way above Leicester. So that's the game.
Well, most teams are at the minute, let's be honest.
Yeah, they'll fancy it, Norwich.
Now Dewsbury Hall, his ball forward is cut out by Dickey. And we have 6.5 minutes to play on TalkSport 2. Bristol City 1, Leicester City 0. Now Dewsbury Hall on the edge of the penalty area. Iheanacho looking to play in Mavididi. It's back towards Iheanacho, and it's squeezed away by Dickey. Now Wells chasing long downfield, but Fast goes all the way back towards Hermansen, who had no chance at all with the goal. It was a brilliant shot from Mehmeti. Now Vestergaard quickly cut out on the far side by McCrory. And Bristol City are beginning to drop a bit deeper now. Every single red and white shirt is behind the ball here. Vestergaard 15 yards inside the Bristol City half, but it's into traffic, and Didi doesn't re-emerge with the ball, but then it's quickly won back. Here is Dewsbury Hall, edge of the penalty area, wide to Mavididi down the left. Needs to be a good cross, but it's blocked at source by Varda. It will be a corner to Leicester.
Yeah, everybody back there. It was, but Leicester are committing so many men forward that the counter-attack is very much on for Bristol City. If they want to leave a player up, they're not going to leave anyone up for this corner. Everyone back for it, all hands on deck.
Mavididi with the corner in towards the near post. Fatawu was challenging for it, and in the end it loops off the top of his head and goes behind for a goal kick. 5 minutes to play, and the dark clouds are beginning to bank again behind the stand on the far side. Looks to be raining around the city centre of Bristol, and it could be a long, damp, gloomy drive back for those Leicester fans to the East Midlands this evening.
Yeah, well, I'll be headed in that direction too. And yeah, look, I'm looking away to my left, and it is raining. Yeah, it's pouring. but the fans are just staring into thin air. You know, they look a little bit sort of dumbstruck really at what's gone on here. It's not been the performance of a tight winning side, that's for sure.
Now Naki Wells onside on the edge of the penalty area, manages to shove off Justin. He's got support in field from McCrory, wide towards Wells again, who was onside. The cross though was blocked by Justin, and Mavididi will step in to rob Wells, but it will be a throw into Bristol City. And we have a rather odd situation here. The rain is far heavier at one end of the stadium than it is at the other.
It is,
maybe
right.
Symptomatic of how the Leicester fans feel.
I think you're right. Yeah, it's the Leicester fans that are getting soaked at the minute, and yeah, it's been a dreary, few minutes for them.
4 minutes to play. You can hear the rain now on the roof of the main stand here at Ashton Gate. We have the weather conditions which we started the day with here after spells of bright sunshine. Dewsbury Hall, he's almost given the ball away in midfield. He has done. It's headed forward by Williams. But now Justin for Leicester on the far side. Mavididi does well to find Ndidi, and he was caught on the far side by James, and it will be a free kick for Leicester. 3.5 minutes to play plus added time. Bristol City leading by a goal to nil, and on the balance of play, deservedly so. Leicester have been poor, but can they rescue something from this match? Mehmeti clears away, headed away by Vestergaard, but there's a break on here for Bristol City on the far side. McCrory will chase. Justin just about makes the challenge, but McCrory recovers, brings the ball in field. Mehmeti's in space to the left-hand side, and it's a good ball from McCrory to find him. Now Mehmeti can attack the penalty area. Wells waits at the far post, high towards Naki Wells, but beyond him, and it will be a goal kick.
Yeah, in the end it was a poor decision, but yeah, lovely play from McCrory to get the ball across to Mehmeti. The delivery not good from him, but because Leicester having to commit everybody forward, they basically just had Vestergaard back there 1v1 with Naki Wells. The through ball is on. As soon as they win the ball back, Naki Wells needs to run in beyond Vestergaard, and he could be through to seal the game.
Iheanacho. Infield towards Ricardo Pereira. Winks has been caught by Sykes. Yellow card for Sykes. Free kick for Leicester here. About 30 yards out, but in a central area. And Enzo Maresca is more animated now on the edge of his technical area because time is running out. The 89th minute. It's played short to Ricardo Pereira. And now Justin finding Mavididi again. Slipped in by Justin towards Mavididi, but it took a deflection and an opportunity now for Williams to break for Bristol City. He's got Mehmeti in space to the left. Wells makes the run down the centre. Wells here is onside. Goal side of Winks. He goes down. Wells inside the penalty area. He appeals for a penalty. Nothing given, but Mehmeti then wins it back from Fass. He will head towards the corner flag on this near side. And what will Anis Mehmeti do here? He'll just draw the challenge from Fass, and it will be a throw-in for Bristol City.
Yeah, the breakaway was always on. I didn't think it was a penalty. It was quite an extravagant shoulder barge in the end that knocked him flying, but for me, no pen. But this is not where Leicester City want the ball to be. You know, right by the left wing corner flag. Bristol City just knocking the ball around.
We're into the 90th minute here. And what has the response been from Leicester to falling behind? Negligible.
Yeah, it's not been great. You know, yes, there's been urgency, but they've not had any control of this match at any stage, Leicester City. And that's what they're about. They're supposed to control games. And today, because they haven't been at it, they've had no semblance of control. And Bristol City have always been in the game.
There is still time, plenty of time left in the season, but at the moment Leicester do not look like a Premier League team in waiting, which they did so for so much of the season.
Yeah, Enzo Maresca beneath us, he looks really downcast. He's pacing up and down. He's made his substitutions now. This is it. It's 5 minutes. Can Leicester salvage anything in the final 5?
Well, they clear the ball away by the corner flag on this near side. Heading back in field, though, by Roberts. But here is Dewsbury Hall, absolutely sheeting down with rain now. But Dewsbury Hall was fouled as he played it forward there. Bristol City believe it shouldn't be a free kick, but it is. Here is Winks in the centre circle. Leicester at home to Norwich, live on TalkSport 2 on Monday. And the atmosphere around the King Power Stadium before that game should be very interesting. Now, it's quickly played forward by Dewsbury Hall, but again, Bristol City are happy to clear, and James just lifts it into an area behind those defenders. James Justin with a back pass, which Hermansen will have to try and control on his chest, which he does. And now Hermansen gets it back from Justin. And we've played one of the 5 added minutes here.
Yeah, there's just been no gear change, and you know, it has been an accusation towards Maresca from the Leicester fans. It's just plan A, and then there's more plan A. There's nothing else. And you know, you've got the wingers hugging the touchline. They're not going to score from there. Fatawu, Mavididi, they need to be more in field here.
And we welcome listeners from TalkSport once again. 90 seconds into added time. It is still Bristol City 1, Leicester City 0. Anis Mehmeti with a stunning goal 17 minutes from time. And now Fatawu just lofts a ball high and wide on the far side, straight out of play to Adrian Clark. That really sums up Leicester's performance.
It's been a horrible afternoon for Leicester City. They've played poorly. They deserve to be behind. That said, they've missed 3 gilt-edge opportunities. The goalkeeper Max O'Leary's made 3 stunning saves, but for me, they don't deserve anything out of this game. It's become very, very desperate for them, and this championship promotion race is suddenly very, very interesting.
25,857 the crowd at Ashton Gate. Leicester have not been outside the top 2 since September the 2nd, but they could be this evening, as Wells is flagged offside on the far side. A reminder, over on TalkSport 2, 5:30, Blackburn against Ipswich, 8 o'clock, Watford against Leeds. If both of those win, Leicester will be outside the automatic promotion places.
Yeah. And look, on current form, That's where they deserve to be.
In fact, Leeds don't even have to win.
No, they've lost their confidence, and this Leicester team needs to be confident in order to play the kind of football that Maresca is demanding from them.
Sykes plays the ball in behind, looking for Naki Wells, who gets there before Vestergaard. All on his own. Wells comes in field towards the edge of the penalty area, has support from Williams and also Mehmeti, but the ball back to either of them was cut out, and Leicester will try and bring it forward with 2 minutes of added time to play. Dewsbury Hall plays it in field towards Ricardo Pereira, who came on during the second half, but he in turn has given the ball away to Williams. Wells is miles offside down the centre, so it's played short on this near side to Hayden Roberts, one of the central defenders moving forward. He flicks it down the line from Mehmeti, and it comes off, and in the end the challenge comes in from Balfas, and Bristol City have a throw-in on this near side.
Yeah, they're on their knees, Leicester, here. I think they've given up on it. They know the game is up. Bristol City, there's nothing really on it for them. They can't go up, they're not going down, but this is one heck of a scalp. And remember, they also beat Southampton here not so long ago, so this will give them so much confidence moving forward. Bristol City, they've been excellent today.
Now Pring looks to break into the penalty area. Fast brings it away, but he's given the ball away again. Sykes all the way back to the halfway line, and Viner just lumps it high and wide towards this near side. Fatawu will get there before Mehmeti, but the flag is up for offside, and it will be a free kick for Leicester. The rain has abated here once again. The sun trying to peek out from behind some very dark clouds above us. 30 seconds of added time to play. Leicester looking to rescue a point from a game they really needed to win. Winks now inside the centre circle, plays a high ball over the top, looking for Ndidi, way overhit and into the arms of Max O'Leary, who made 3 stunning saves early in the second half to keep Bristol City in touch, and they've turned out to be match-winning saves.
Yeah, magnificent goalkeeping performance from Max O'Leary. That pass there from Harry Winks summed things up. He looked up, and everyone's just standing there waiting for the ball to come, and he just lashes it forward. It was hopeless.
Into the 96th minute, it is all over. Leicester City's season continues to unravel. It is now 4 points in 6 games, and the team which looks certainties to return to the Premier League could be outside the top 2 this evening. Bristol City celebrate. It's a big win for them, but it's another horrible day for Leicester as the games begin to run out. It is finished. Bristol City 1, Leicester City 0.